This week on Elon Phoenix Weekly, I teach some new touchdown celebrations.
The semifinals of the Everyday Sportscasting Tournament will take place in a brand new Sport Management Minute.
And stick around for the end for a new episode of The Spark. Coming up right now.
Welcome back to Elon Phoenix Weekly. I'm Taylor Schmidt.
And I'm Tellier Lundquist. Energy is starting to heat up on campus, and with the return of football approaching this spring. This week, I spent a little time trying to muster up my own energy around the sport. I did that by breaking down the essence of the touchdown celebration.
Now, for a while, celebrating in the NFL didn't exist until Ickey Woods came into the league and took the football world by storm. He invented the Ickey Shuffle, a celebration dance that he would do after every touchdown. For the Cincinnati Bengals, he ran and became a Pro Bowler. His dances took over the entire league, and to this day, there are still iterations of his Ickey Shuffle. Now, what other touchdown dances exist in the league? Now, it was banned for a while, but then it came back, and now it's the highlight of most games. So, what are all the NFL players doing? Paying homage and creating their own word, the way the Ickey Shuffle rang throughout the entire NFL. But here's the question, why don't kickers have celebrations? Now, everyone should have their celebration, and nowadays it's seeming like everyone does. In football, everything originated with the Ickey Shuffle. Now, my variations are a little obscure, sure, but they're mine. And that's how everyone puts their imprint on the league and says, this is me. Taylor, how'd I do?
So, Taylor, how'd I do?
It's a little cringy, I'm not gonna lie,
That's what I was worried about.
Well, round one of the Everyday Sportscasting Tournament was a blast, and this week's semifinals are even more exciting. With a place in the finals all on the line, let's see what these contestants have in store.
Welcome back to Elon Everyday Sportscasting Tournament. The semifinals are upon us. First matchup of the night, Javik Blake and Tellier Lundquist.
Last week, we were talking about coffee. Today, we're talking about pizza. Welcome inside Pandora's Pies and welcome back to Mundane Commentary. I'm Javik Blake. As we see the dough getting put away, as one ready-to-be-made pizza dough is being pressed in. You got the toppings off on the left. Nice bright orange shirt as well, all masked up. Stretching out the pizza dough. The interesting thing to look for in the next couple of moments is what exactly the pizza being made is. We'll get a little bit of a toss. Look at that stretch. Really getting into it. He'll lay it back down, and that is a big pizza. It's going to feed an entire family. Now we got the sauce, got the ladle, and one big helping will go back for a second. Another big helping of sauce. That's what really makes the good pizza. The circular motion to get it all around, get it to the edges, and that is some perfect sauce ratio. That is some 80 grade sauce spreading. As now here comes the cheese. And it looks like it's going to be a cheese pizza. It will be a cheese pizza. Might be plain for some, but to others, this is the holy grail. We'll toss it in the oven, and it'll be out in just a couple of moments here from Pandora's Pies.
Welcome back to Make Me a Pie 2020 here in the Pandora's Pizza bubble in Elon, North Carolina. Johnny wearing the orange shirt and the mask. Mom put him in the orange shirt this morning to make sure that she could identify him against all the other competitors. Here's Johnny going back to his patented pitter patter, the kitty cat technique as he calls it. Flips it over and starts spreading out the dough, smoothing it just a little stretch in there to widen it out. And with this technique that's very American, I go to my partner Antonio Margaretti. Antonio, what do you see from this kid's technique?
Well, it's okay. It's not what they teach you in Napoli, but it's okay, and he should be all right.
Well, it's a great point, Antonio, that you mentioned. It's very different from the original Italian makers who would simply twirl it around and not pit-pat the way that he does. But Johnny's doing okay. Gets a good circular motion with the ladle, drizzles on a little cheese. If you ask me, that's a little light on cheese. Would have liked to see a few more toppings, a little more creativity. Now he dishes it around, throws it into the oven, get that good cardboard taste that he's always going for. I guess all you can say is this is about what you expect from him. And on the other side of the bracket, Drew Gentry and Chase Williams both advanced from the first round. They take on each other in what is going to be a phenomenal matchup.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Mundane Broadcast. I'm Drew Gentry. Today we're at Pandora's Pies going through the creation of a pizza. I remember my freshman year, I hit a half-court shot to win free pizza for a month from the people over there at Pandora's Pies. As you see, the pizza creator making the dough, pressing it out, giving it a great circular shape to give you a perfect taste and texture. Now spreading out the dough a little bit more on that pizza peel right before he goes into folding it out, stretching it out with his bare hands, letting it flop and just expand to its fullest potential. Now setting it back down on the pizza peel, cornering those edges, goes to get a scoop of the marinara. One small scoop, make it two. And now time to spread that sauce out. Not a lot of sauce on the pizza there at Pandora, but that's how I like it. I don't want it to be falling out. A big handful of mozzarella cheese. Probably going to need another one. And there goes round two of the cheese. Picks up the pizza peel, gives it a little shake for good measure, spreading the cheese, and into the oven it goes, and shortly it will be in your stomach.
You see the work he pulls out the pizza dough and is really trying to coat it in the flour to make it as good as possible before he puts the other dough back. And you'll see here he's going to bring it out and really try to flatten it. Let's see what type of technique he uses. You can see he uses really the ends of his finger to thin out the crust along the outside. It's an interesting technique. He now flips it over, really trying to use his palms to just thin that baby out as much as he can. Try and get as much of a layer as you can so you get as big of a pizza as possible. Now really flipping up, trying to make this pizza crust just as thin as possible. He's doing a great job on it. Great focus. You can see he's really trying to make sure it's got that oval shape before he goes and he gets the sauce, getting a good layer of sauce, and not one scoop but two scoops for this large pizza before he spreads it around. Just really a great circle motion right there. Now he's going and grabbing some cheese and really just a nice thin layer of cheese, not one handful, a little bit more than that, covering the whole pizza before he's going to put it now, looks like in the oven, pushing the cheese around to make sure, and he slides it into the oven and brings back that pizza holder, closes the oven, and here we go.
Remember to place your votes for who you believe had the better commentary, and that will be available on the Elon Phoenix Weekly social medias. Don't forget to vote and send your favorite broadcaster through to the finals.
And don't forget to check out our social medias where you can vote. All the polls will be up. You can rewatch any of the segments, but please vote for your favorite broadcaster to move on to the finals.
Yes, be sure to vote. After the break, we look at how college football was affected by the global pandemic. We'll be right back.
As one of the top schools in the country, Elon Athletics is on a level all its own. The Phoenix Club helps provide not only opportunities for a distinctive undergraduate experience, but also helps student athletes compete in the Colonial Athletic Association. We can provide student athletes with a world-class education. Make a gift by visiting elonphoenix.com or calling 336-278-6503 today to show your passion for the Phoenix.
Welcome back. Now this year football has been pretty hectic with almost every league's conference schedule coming out at different times. Now the Pac-12 just became the most recent Power 5 conference to approve a new schedule. In this week's Sport Management Minute, we hear all about how this has impacted the conference.
Pac-12, in terms of the Power 5, they're the last one in right now. So, you can appreciate the pressures from a lot of constituents to play or not to play. I think the Pac-12 is in a very unique situation in that, in addition to COVID, they also are dealing with air quality issues and then certainly even just trying to keep campus safe. But right now they're the last Power 5 in to decide that they're going to play a sport, in this case football. And so if they don't play and things continue where the other 4 conferences can compete and play for a championship, those schools in the Pac-12 are financially going to suffer. We haven't solved this in college football. COVID doesn't go away because we want to play a football game. So, I hope that as they continue to review it, and I think we always have to remember, just because they make a decision that they want to play, and it's going to be day to day, hour to hour for them to have to make decisions. And so, I have no problem with them planning on trying to play. I do think that, like everyone else, you just hope that safety of the student athlete remains paramount, and really safety of campus remains paramount. These student athletes, they're not professional athletes. We cannot put them in a bubble the same way we can do with the NBA, Major League Baseball. We can't remove them from the campus community necessarily. I know some schools have been forced to do that because they've sent all the students home, but I think we have to be really careful about how we are treating student athletes, or how we're preparing student athletes versus other students. And again, I think we have to maintain student athlete safety and health has to be number one, regardless of what we're doing.
It's crazy to see the way sports have been coming back ever so slightly, and it might be a while till they return back to normal. But don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we share exclusive content featuring Elon's football team. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
As one of the top schools in the country, Elon Athletics is on a level all its own. The Phoenix Club helps provide not only opportunities for a distinctive undergraduate experience, but also helps student athletes compete in the Colonial Athletic Association. We can provide student athletes with a world-class education. Make a gift by visiting elonphoenix.com or calling 336-278-6503 today to show your passion for the Phoenix.
Welcome back to Elon Phoenix Weekly.
Now, last week we talked to Peter Fortunato about how the football program is preparing for their spring season. This week we have a new episode of The Spark featuring Jordan Bonner and Jalen Thomas and their relationship growing up through football.
I trust Jordan with my life. You know, he's been there through everything, through thick and thin with me, through losing my grandmother, losing my uncle, losing some friends. He's been there the whole time. And I think another thing is Jordan just being Jordan. Jordan just, you know, being his introverted self and being this such, thinks he's all big and bad. But he has a little soft spot in his heart. And, you know, I think that what draws us close to each other.
And I mean, I'll do anything for him he asks me to do, and I know he'll do the same for me. So that's really why we stuck by each other's side since day one, because we always been able to help each other out or be there for each other when each other was needed.
We've known each other from the time that I can remember. Like, we grew up in church together. We were singing in the choir together in church as little kids. We played football together, flag football, whether it's against each other. It just means a lot. Loyalty, I think, is the word that looks for loyalty. And we always said this one statement. We said, blood makes you related only, but loyalty makes you family.
I mean, since kids, we always dreamed about going to college with each other, just living the life of being in college and playing with each other after high school, because we always played with each other in high school, through rec, played against each other. So just going to the same college and living the same dream as each other was just the thing we wanted to do with each other. We both want to graduate college for our mothers. We both got aspirations of playing in the NFL. That's the biggest goal. And just making something out of ourselves, because where we from, it's a lot of us that don't make it out. And we just part of the select few that made it out. So we ain't got no choice but to stick it out and push through it.
Jordan knows that my love for him goes way beyond just a friendship. It goes way beyond just a brotherhood. He knows that if he need anything, I got him. And I know that if I need anything, he got me.
That's my guy forever. We'll never stop being friends. Even if we fall out about something, we'll never stop being friends, ever.
And we cannot wait to see those guys back on the field, and we can't wait to root on Elon football.
I certainly cannot wait. Well, folks, be sure to tune in next week where we'll have an exciting brand new take on the popular show Weakest Link.
If you miss anything, check it out. All of our episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/Elon Phoenix Weekly or by searching any streaming channels for Elon.com. Head to elonphoenix.com to learn more about upcoming games and successes in Elon Athletics. And don't forget to follow us on our social accounts at Elon Phoenix Weekly.
Thanks so much for joining us this week on Elon Phoenix Weekly. On behalf of our entire crew, that's Tellier, and I'm Taylor Schmidt. We'll see you next time.